Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire with another La Palma update for November 30th, 2021. In case you haven't seen the clips that I just uploaded of the new lava flows from the northern flank, the new vents of the volcano, here they are. Some of you are saying that you're not getting notified whenever I put out new content. Folks, you have to make sure that the notification bell is indeed clicked. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, as that will ensure that you will get La Palma updates on the daily right here from the M-Wire. Now, these new vents that are flowing to the north there of the videos that I just posted, and this one here, obviously these new lava flows are indeed destroying property, and they're starting to threaten major thoroughfares and roadways on the island of La Palma, obviously affecting traffic and whatnot. So this situation continues to exacerbate on the island. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, this volcano clearly is not slowing down. How can you look at the footage that I've just posted and the obvious eruption from the main vent, and now as many as 10 or 12 vents, I've lost track how many vents there are, and conclude that this volcano is winding down? How can you possibly ascertain that? That's almost like looking out the window during a blinding snowstorm and say, oh, good thing this snow is tapering off. This is absolutely crazy snowfall we're getting here. Isn't that an accurate analogy? Folks, this volcano is doing the diametric opposite of what many have said is slowing down. It's not slowing down. The volcanic activity is increasing, the earthquakes are increasing. On the subject of that, take a look at the earthquake activity in the last 24 hours. We're talking about 150 to 175 earthquakes here. Just look at all these. And they're all at moderate to shallow depths. So if you remember, several days ago, there was about a 4.6, so they called it, at a 46-kilometer depth. Now, I think that particular earthquake, although I'm not able to actually prove it, this is just my opinion, that actual earthquake was the catalyst for what we're seeing now. We saw a considerably large earthquake at a deeper depth, and now we have a multitude of earthquakes at shallower depths, supporting the theory that there's a sub-magma chamber feeding lesser magma chambers closer to the surface, and now the lava is expunging itself from the ground in multiple locations. The poor residents of this island have endured so much with this volcano, they don't need to endure any more. But unfortunately, the volcano is not going to stop anytime soon. Not with this kind of activity, it's not. No way. Now, if you've been following this eruption for any period of time, I'm sure you remember the point where there was very few earthquakes. I think the fewest since the eruption began was maybe about 30 or so. And people essentially wrote off this volcano as coming to an end when that happened, including Volcano Discovery. They were ever so vehemently thumping the drum, saying that this eruption is drawing to a close, that there's really nothing to see here, and that's about it for this eruption. Well, that did not hold any water, did it? It was anything but true. This volcano is becoming more and more explosive, and more lava vents and flows are happening as a result of it. So to anyone who is detracting from the severity of this eruption and what may potentially happen as a result of this eruption, to those people I say, well, you're not paying attention very closely, because you can't look at what the volcano does over one 24-hour period and make a prognostication of it. I don't like to make prognostications because, quite frankly, I can't tell the future. The only thing I know is that a volcano, when it ceases to erupt, does so gradually over time. It's not like a light switch where it just shuts off and that's it and that's all, folks. This eruption needs to be taken very seriously because, folks, need I remind you with what happened with Mount St. Helens in 1980? Everyone thought that that was just, oh, it's an erupting volcano. There was 2 months of activity before that collapse happened, and that was caused by a 5.1 earthquake. There were scientists that were observing the volcano. One, most notably, he was maybe about a mile or so, 6 or 7 kilometers away from the volcano, and he was doing studies on it, and he perished as a result of the collapse. And that was an expert, folks. That was an expert that thought he was obviously safe where he was. Otherwise, why would you be that close to it if he didn't think he was safe? I don't think he was on a suicide mission. So suffice to say, even the experts are somewhat baffled by the behavior of La Cumbre Vieja on the island of La Palma. Personally, I adopt more of a watch and wait philosophy for this erupting volcano. It's not subsiding. There's nothing that indicates to me that this volcano is subsiding. As a matter of actual fact, it tells me that it's getting worse by the day because these new vents are popping up, especially the one on the north flank there that is generating a lot of lava, hence the video. And this eruption is continuing regardless as to what anyone thinks about that subject. This is going on for a while now, and it will go on for a while now. There's just nothing to indicate that this eruption is drawing to a close. How anyone can possibly surmise that is absolutely beyond me. Now folks, I know I say this in every video, and I know some of you are getting tired of saying it, but I say it for a reason. You need to be prepared in a worst case scenario. If the worst happens, and this island breaks in half, and as I've said many times before, the fault line has already reached the Atlantic Ocean. It's already weak, folks. The more earthquake activity that I see on this island, the weaker it gets. It's just being hammered over and over again for over 2 months now by small earthquakes. Remember what I said about earthquakes. Each 0.1 that an earthquake goes up is double in intensity. So that means 10 2.0 earthquakes equal 1 3.0 earthquake. 10 3.0 earthquakes equal 1 4.0 earthquake. Folks, you need to have a plan prepared if the worst happens. You need to have a bug-out bag. You need to have a tank of gas at the very least. And you need to have a place to go. These are very, very simple measures that potentially may save your life. I don't want to over-dramatize this. I don't know if the island is going to break in half, but believe me, if it does, and I said if, there's not going to be much time for you to react. In the grand scheme of everything, there really isn't. Just by doing those simple things, you may very well live to tell the tale of this volcano because it's going to affect the entire eastern seaboard. It's going to affect places in Europe. It's going to affect a lot of places if the worst happens. But thank you so much for coming along with me to my update. Please remember to like, to comment, to share, and of course to subscribe. And until the next update, God bless.